Hi students, today we will see the meaning of numbers with rational indices. So in the last lecture you saw an introduction about indices. Now we will see meaning of the numbers when the index is a rational number of the form 1 upon n. That means an index number is also shown in a rational form, rational number. So rational number we have seen in the first chapter, that is 1 upon 2, 2 upon 3, 3 upon 4, so on. And index is, for example, 2 raised to 5, then 2 will be base and 5 will be an index. So that same index number we can note or we can write in a rational number, rational form. So that will be 2 raised to 1 upon 2. Okay? So that is, let us see the meaning of indices in the form of rational numbers such as 1 upon 2, 1 upon 3, 1 upon 5, so on, and 1 upon n. So how this is shown as rational numbers. This is also known as index number. If we write as 2 raised to 1 upon 2, then 1 upon 2 will be an index number. Okay. Now here we can see that to show the square of a number, the index is written as 2, and to show the square root of a number, the index is written as 1 upon 2. That means to show the square of a number, the index is written as 2. If you are showing a square root or square, that is 2. Okay, but to show the square root of a number, okay, if we have written square root 2, then if we have to show it in a rational number, then that will be square root 2. It will be shown in a rational number, that will be 2 raised to 1 upon 2. So that 1 upon 2 is known as square root. So now we will see an example. That is, for example, square root of 25 is written as square root 25, and to show or using the radical sign square root. So that means if in a sentence we have shown that square root of 25, so for the square root we have to show this symbol. Okay, that is 25, then we have to put this sign which you can see over here. That means it's the square root 25. Using index, it is expressed as 25 raised to 1 upon 2. So index is also shown in a rational form. So that will be using index. If we have to show square root 25 in a rational form, then it will be expressed as 25 raised to 1 upon 2. So that square root symbol will be converted into 1 upon 2. So that index will be 1 upon 2. Here you can see square root 25 is equal to 25 raised to 1 upon 2. So here, in general, square of a can be written as a square, and square root of a is written as square root a. Here you can see 2 written over here, or square root a, or a raised to 1 upon 2. So that means if it is written as a square and we have to return in different forms, then we can write as a square root, that is 2 over here, or square root a, or a raised to 1 upon 2, which we can show that square root into a rational form. Okay, similarly, cube of a is written as a cube, a raised to 3, and cube root of a is written as root a, and here we have to show 3 because asked for a raised to 3, a cube, okay, cube root of a. And if we have to show in a rational form, that will be a raised to 1 upon 3. For example, 4 raised to 3, that is 4 is base and 3 is index, as you all know. is equal to 4 into 4 into 4. 3 times 4 is equal to 64. Therefore, cube root of 64 can be written as cube root 64. Here you can see 3 written over here. Okay, or 64, open the bracket, close the bracket, raised to 1 upon 3 written in a rational form. So that index will be in rational form. So cube root of 64 is also is equal to 4. Okay, note that 64 raised to 1 upon 3 is equal to 4. 3 times 4 is equal to 64. Other example, that is 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, that is 3 raised to 5. Means 5 times we have to multiply 3. We will get the answer 243. That is, fifth power of 3 is 243. Conversely, fifth root of 243 is expressed as 243 in bracket raised to 1 upon 5, or root 243, and here we have to mention 5 in the square root. Hence, 243 raised to 1 upon 5 is equal to 3, because when 3 is multiplied 5 times, then we will get the answer, that is 243. In general, nth root of a is expressed as a raised to 1 upon n. For example, 128 raised to 1 upon 7 is equal to 7th root of 128. Another example, 900 raised to 1 upon 12 is equal to 12th root of 900. I hope you all understood this, and index we can mention, or we can note, or we can show in a form of rational number also. Now we will see the meaning of numbers having index in the rational form n upon n. We know that 8 square is equal to 64, that is 8 into 8 is equal to 64. Cube root at 64 is equal to 64, that is cube root, they have asked for cube root, 64 raised to 1 upon 3 is equal to 64 is 8 raised to 2, 8 square. So we have to mention over here, that is 8 square raised to 1 upon 3. Okay, because we got the answer from here. Means 64 is equal to 8 square. So 64 is equal to 8 square over here, and we have mentioned this 1 upon 3 over here. And that is equal to 4. And now how it has become 4, that is, so we have to find cube root at 64 is. For this we have to find the answer. So here it is 4. So how we got this is 3 times we have to mention 2, because 8 square, cube root of 8 square. So 2 into 2 into 2. Okay. So that will be 2 into 2 is 4. 4 into 2 is 8. So we got the answer over here, 8. So that is 4. So that means 2 into 2 into 2 is equal to 8. So 3 times 2 will get 8. Okay. And now we have to get 4. So that is 2 square is 4. Okay, because we are moving this square to that side. So the number which we are multiplying 3 times, that is 2. So 2 square is 4. Okay. So here Cube root of square of 8 is 4. That is first part. Now similarly, cube root of 8 is equal to 8 raised to 1 upon 3 is equal to 2. As we saw earlier, 2 into 2 into 2 is equal to 8. Therefore, square of cube root of 8 is 8 raised to 1 upon 3 square. Now, 8 raised to 1 upon 3 is 2, and that square comes this side, so 2 square, which I already told you over here, mentioned over here. Same. That is equal to 4. So now first and second is also same. So from 1 and 2, cube root of square of 8. Now cube root of square of 8. So cube root is the first part, so that will come outside the bracket. Okay, and it's square of 8. So that will be using indices 8 square bracket close raised to 1 upon 3, that is cube root 1 upon 3 is equal to square of cube. So here now square comes first, so that will be outside the bracket. Here it is cube root is first and here it is square. So cube root of square of 8 is 8 square bracket open and close raised to 1 upon 3 is equal to square of cube root of 8. Cube root of 8. So in bracket 8 raised to cube root of 8, that is 1 upon 3 bracket close square. So that square is here. The rules for rotation indices are the same as those for integral indices. Using the rule a raised to m bracket open and close raised to n is equal to a raised to mn. We get 8 raised to 2 1 upon 3 is equal to 8 raised to 1 upon 3 raised to 2 is equal to 8 raised to 2 upon 3. So here now from this we get two meanings of the number 8 raised to 2 upon 3. Same which we have written over here, that is shown over here. 8 raised to 2 upon 3 is equal to 8 raised to 2 raised to 1 upon 3 outside the bracket, that is cube root. Cube root. So which comes outside the bracket will be here first. Cube root of square of 8. Square of 8. Now here 8 raised to 2 upon 3 is equal to 8 raised to 1 upon 3 outside the bracket raised to 2, that is which comes outside the bracket 2, that is square. So it will come first, square of cube root of 8, that is 1 upon 3. So square of cube root of 8. I hope you all understood this, and this is only an explanation part. If there is some if you are finding any problem with the examples, you can solve it, and while giving the examples you can ask the problems if you are facing anything. Okay, thank you.